enjoyed those two Brain Pop videos. I know we've kind of touched on these topics a little bit before Terra Nova, but today we're going to dive right into these. So we're going to be talking about weathering, erosion, and deposition. If you have a Netflix account, there is a Magic School Bus that we would usually have watched in class. So feel free to watch that. I'll post which episode and season it is in case you're interested. But weathering, what weathering is it is the breaking off of an item. So we talked in class about if you have a weathered look on your jeans, you've got holes and rips and different things like that, but you still have your jeans. So your rock would still be there. It's just that you've got pieces that have broken off, and those pieces are also still there. So again, it is the breaking down of rock by wind, water, and ice. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well because we're not too familiar with that in Florida. Temperature change and plants. I want to touch here on plants. I'm sure a lot of you have walked down the sidewalk and you've seen a piece of sidewalk that's pushed up, and maybe there's a tree next to it. So what's happened is those roots from the tree have grown and they're trying to get more room, and so they're pushing that sidewalk up. So plants, pretty interesting. For erosion, this is when it's actually leaving. So those pieces that have broken off of a rock, they're no longer just sitting there. Those pieces are moving somewhere else. So we talked about erode. Erosion kind of sounds like road. So a car can travel down a road, and that's exactly what's happening. These pieces are traveling, they're moving. So erosion is the movement. So here it says movement of rock by gravity, wind, water, ice. So how gravity comes into play is maybe you have a rock that's on a hill and those pieces break off, they're going to fall down the hill. We obviously know that wind can blow things, water can carry things in a stream, and again, that ice, we're going to come back to that in just a second. Deposition, we have not talked about this word yet in 4th grade. This D is going to be helpful. This is when after it has eroded, it's going to stop and it's going to stay in that spot. So these are when those sediments, those pieces, think of sedimentary rock, sediments, those pieces, sediments are pieces that are laid down in a new location. We're going to do a little dance, and I want everyone to stand up. We're going to kind of get our wiggles out a little bit, and I want you to do this. In class, I'd make you, probably do it like 10 times, and we'd open class up with this every single day. So go ahead, stand up. You don't have to look goofy in front of anyone because it's just you and your family at home. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice breaking it, taking it, and dropping it. The first thing I want you to do is make a W for weathering, just like I have here in our notes. So we're going to have a W for weathering. Weathering breaks it, erosion takes it, deposition drops it. So we're going to do it a couple more times. Weathering breaks it, erosion takes it, deposition drops it. All right, so keep doing it. I'd like you to try maybe like 5 times at home. So weathering breaks it, erosion takes it, deposition drops it. Before I have Ms. Robar zoom in on your notes so that you can pause and take these in your science notebook, I want to refer back to that ice that I was talking about. So in Florida, we don't really see this, but what happens is when it snows, we know that snow is water, it's frozen water. So eventually that snow is going to melt and it's going to turn into water. And in winter, in places that it snows, it's usually continuously cold for a while. So what happens is we have it snow and it lays on the sidewalk. And then it might warm up throughout the day or throughout the week or throughout that month, and that snow will melt. And so what's going to happen is that water is going to get in the cracks of those sidewalks, or in the road, you might see cracks in the road. So now we have water there. And I think we all remember we did an investigation when we froze water in a water bottle and it expands. So when water freezes, it expands. So again, maybe later that night it gets a little colder. So that water is now again going to turn into ice. So it's stuck in that sidewalk as water. It's going to get cold and freeze. Water expands, so it's going to push the sidewalk a little bit apart. And then it's a continuous cycle, and this happens over days and months, and then next year in the winter it happens again, and then the next year in the winter it happens again. So that is something to think about that we might not really be familiar with. So ice can certainly cause the breaking, and then ice can certainly also cause the taking. All right, so again, make sure to pause our video and copy down all of your notes today. Our picture here is an example of that. So we have weathering next to weathering. Weathering is the rock breaking. Next to erosion, it's taking it. It's taking it by gravity or wind. It's taking it by water or ice. And then deposition, it's just stopping it, staying here. So weathering breaks it, erosion takes it, deposition drops it.